Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about ratios, what they are and how we use them in the real world and how to write them. Here's an example that I came up with. It's about paint. When you mix yellow and blue, a shade of green is formed. If you add more blue than yellow, you will get blue-green. Suppose you have one batch of Leyland green paint but want to make a triple batch. How can you be sure you're going to get the right color? Well, we can be sure to get the right color because we're going to use ratios. So I'm here looking at this Leyland green, and it says I need 3 blue, and I need 1 yellow, blue to yellow. So I'm going to just get a different color here. So 3 blue to 1 yellow. And if I want to triple the batch, that means I'm going to multiply everything by 3. So 3 to 1. I'm just going to rewrite that because I wrote it on the wrong side. The ratio 3 to 1 is equal to, well, if we're going to triple the batch, I'm going to multiply both amounts by 3. In this case, I'm going to call those quarts of paint. So I'm going to end up needing 3 yellows to 9 blues. So that is a proportional relationship, and we would get the color that we were looking for. All right, so these are the notes that we took in class. Ratios as comparisons. A ratio is a multiplicative. That's a fun word. Multiplicative. Multiplicative comparison of two quantities, which describes the same attribute. They can be written in 3 ways. Now, when we talk about multiplicative, that is the adjective for multiply. Multiply would be a verb. So if I say it's a multiplicative comparison, that means we're going to compare them using multiplication or division. Okay, so ratios can be written in 3 ways. We can write it with the word to. We can write it with a colon. And we can write it as a fraction. All right. Equivalent ratios. Ratios that are equivalent can be simplified to the same value, just like equivalent fractions. Example, if I did butterfly on these, I would get 12. That tells me they're equivalent. On these, since they're written horizontally instead of as fractions, we're going to compare the first 2 numbers. Well, I can get from 4 to 8 by multiplying by 2. And then I can also get from 5 to 10 by multiplying by 2. Since both are being multiplied by 2, they are equivalent. Okay, let's do a little practice. Create 2 ratios that are equivalent to the ratios below. So I'm just going to use multiplication. 7 to 11, the ratio, maybe that's 7 boys to 11 girls. It's just a comparison. We are going to create equivalent ratios with multiplication. The easiest way to do this is to just multiply both numbers by the same scale factor. In this case, it'll be times 2. I could choose any number I want. In this case, I'm choosing 2. So 7 times 2 is 14. 11 times 2 is 22. And then I might want to do times 3. That's also easy. 7 times 3 would be 21. 11 times 3, 33. So I have 2 equivalent ratios for the first example. Now the next one here, 18 to 12 is my ratio. These are both numbers that I can simplify and go smaller. So instead of using multiplication this time, I'm going to go ahead and use division. So 18 and 12, those are both divisible by 6. Let's divide those by 6. 18 divided by 6 will be 3. 12 divided by 6 is 2. So in simplest forms, that ratio is 3 to 2. If I want to do one more, let's see, let's just divide by 2 for those. Divide both of these by 2. So 18 divided by 2 would be 9. and 12 divided by 2 is 6. Easy enough. And number 3, I think I'm going to simplify that. They're both even numbers, so I know I can divide by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So I simplified the ratio that was 6 to 10 to a simpler form, 3 to 5. It's the same value, the only thing is the numbers got smaller. And let's see, so I simplified it to 3 to 5. I'll multiply it by 2 also. So 6 times 2 is 12. 10 times 2 is 20. So I made an equivalent fraction. So to make equivalent fractions, you're just going to ratios, my bad. You're just going to multiply or divide by both numbers by the same scale factor. All right, so determine if the ratios below are equivalent. If so, determine the multiplier, which is known as the scale factor. All right, so since ratios work a lot like fractions, we can do the butterfly to see if diagonally, if we cross multiply and get the same number. So 5 times 8 is 40. 20 times 2 is 40. Those are equivalent. So I'm going to write equivalent. And it wants to know the scale factor. So looking at these numbers, what do I multiply 5 by to get to 20? Well, that's going to be times 4. And it's also times 4 on the top. So my scale factor, I'm just going to use the initial scale factor, is times 4. Okay, our next one, we're going to cross multiply. I get 24, 4 times 6, 3 times 12, 36. Those are not equal. Okay. And on this one, this one's a little more difficult. 6 times 20, I can think in my head 6 times 2 is 12, and it has an extra 0, so that's going to be 120. And 15 times 8 is also 120. Okay, so they are equivalent. I'm going to write equivalent. And my scale factor, well, my scale factor is a little more difficult this time because I can't multiply 6 times something and get 15 unless it's a decimal. So the scale factor on this is actually 2.5 or 2.5. So if I took 2.5, multiplied it with 6, I would get 15. Okay. Okay, we're going to skip this part right here, the tape diagram and proportion. I'm not going to worry about that right now. We'll have plenty of time to work on proportions in the future. All right, on the back side of this paper, we've got school supplies with some questions underneath that we're going to find the ratio. Use the picture of school supplies to practice writing ratios. All right, so we've got markers. The bigger ones. 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 markers. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colored pencils. We've got 1, 2, 3 regular pencils. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 erasers. And let's see, crayons I think I have left. 1, 2, 2 crayons. 1, 2, 3 crayons. And it looks like I forgot a marker down here, so I'm going to go back and get that marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got a marker there. All right, we are all ready to write some ratios. Okay, the first one, it asks us, what is the ratio of pencils to colored pencils? Now, since the word pencils comes first, that's going to be our first number in the ratio. So pencils, I've got, let's see, where'd they go? Right here. 1, 2, 3, the orange writing. 1, 2, 3 pencils. And colored pencils, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a 3 to 5 ratio for our colored pencils. Markers to erasers, well, markers, we ended up with 5 markers. And erasers, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 erasers. We've got a 5 to 4 ratio. Next, crayons to school supplies. Crayons, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 crayons? Yeah, 3 crayons. And all the school supplies, that would be a part to total ratio. And there's actually 20 school supplies altogether. So that's all the supplies in our set. Next up, we've got erasers to pencils. We've got 4 erasers to pencils. We had 1, 2, 3, 3. Now some of these we've already found the ratios to, so I can just rewrite them. Writing utensils to school supplies. Well, that's the total again of 20. Writing utensils comes first. Well, everything was a writing utensil except for those 4 erasers. So that's going to be 16 to 20. Colored pencils to markers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Colored pencils, 5 colored pencils to 5 markers. 5 to 5 ratio can be simplified to 1 to 1 ratio. Crayons to erasers, well, we already got crayons from here, so that's 3. And erasers we had right here, so that's 4. And markers to pencils, we had 5 markers. And pencils we had, where'd pencils go? Pencils we had 3. And that's it for this. We're going to go ahead and skip these other questions, and we're going to add those to our journal.